of the State of Colorado versus James Egan Holmes, case number 12 CR 1522. The records reflect that Mr. Holmes is present with his attorneys, Mr. King, Ms. Brady, Ms. Nelson, Ms. Hicks, and Ms. Spengler. And the people are represented by Mr. Brockler, Ms. Pearson, Ms. Stitch McGuire, Mr. Orman, Mr. Edson, and Mr. Edwards. We have a juror who needs to speak to us, and then we have a juror question submitted as well. But before I get to that, Mr. King, it's my understanding you want to address something with the court.
Yes, Judge, and I appreciate the court's indulgence. And this is an issue that relates potentially to Juror 983, who's one of our alternates. I've talked to Mr. Orman about this briefly this morning. Yesterday, one of the local media folks who was here in court tweeted out a tweet, I guess, indicating that this juror was wearing a T-shirt, which is looks to be from a rock band, Metallica, called Ride the Lightning T-shirt, which depicts on the back of the T-shirt a person in an electric chair. And there was later an article that this same media person wrote for KUSA, and I have copies of those. I've given copies to Mr. Orman. If I could approach and tender to the court copies of these.
Yes. Did you mark them?
I have not yet, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead. You can approach. Thank you.
To be candid with the court, this falls in the category of, for me, of what just when you think you've seen it all, something that happens in this case. And I frankly am at a loss, Your Honor, about what to do about this, if anything, but I thought I needed to bring it to the court's attention. I could see two potential layers of concern. One being the conduct of the media, and I don't think this violates any of the court's orders. There is a picture of this T-shirt, or what purports to be the back of this T-shirt, in the tweet. I don't think that this reporter actually took a photograph of our juror. I'm not alleging anything like that, but I didn't know where the court came down on the media reporting details of what the jurors are wearing and other things like that. It could potentially cause an area of concern. And the second area of concern is with the juror, Your Honor, and I'm at a loss because I don't know. I saw that the juror had a Metallica T-shirt on. I'm not familiar with Metallica. I didn't see the back of the T-shirt. This reporter reported that this is what it is. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it was true, whether the juror just put on the T-shirt because it was the clean T-shirt, or whether the juror was trying to send some kind of a message. I have no idea. But it almost seems like we need to at least inquire of this juror something. And frankly, I'm again at a loss as to how to approach this. But I thought I should bring it to the court's attention for those two reasons, and I'm doing so. And I guess my request at this point is that we at least figure out some way to make some inquiry of this juror as to whether this was the T-shirt, and if so, whether it was inadvertent or whether there was some kind of message that meant to be sent. And I apologize again for bringing this up, but I didn't know what else to do, Your Honor.
No, I appreciate you bringing it up. I saw the same report, so I was aware of that report. I don't know, do the people want to be heard on this?
Thank you, Judge. First off, we do not have an objection if the court wants to inquire of this juror. We noticed it as well. I'm familiar with that type of shirt. I'll tell the court that based on the documents that counsel provided, that is the same shirt that is the photographs there, that's actually the back of the shirt. And it's a very popular shirt. It's from a popular album that's from this particular band. Counsel's not really asking for any sort of action from the court other than inquiring of this juror. We aren't either, Judge. I don't really know what any particular inquiry of the court. I don't think I had noticed this particular juror wearing that shirt ever before, but did notice it yesterday. All right, well, one additional thing, Judge, that we want to point out is when we saw the shirt yesterday, we looked into it a little bit just from online research, and that particular album, that particular song from that album, Ride the Lightning, can certainly be interpreted more as an anti-capital punishment type of song, depending on how it's interpreted. I don't know how that plays into any sort of inquiry from the court, but I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. And for the record, it appears to be a Metallica T-shirt. I think this juror wears black T-shirts a lot. Whether he's worn Metallica T-shirts in the past or not, I don't know. I didn't notice anything on my own, independent of the article in the media. I've got 10 lawyers in the courtroom. Apparently, some of the prosecutors noticed it. None of the defense attorneys apparently did, or they would have brought it to my attention. Apparently, one of the media members in the gallery noticed it, even though they are not all that close to the jurors. I'm happy to bring this person in, Mr. King, and question him without objection from the people. I think that makes sense. But my sense is that this is someone who apparently likes Metallica and was wearing this T-shirt. And but I'll bring him in, and I will question him. In terms of the other issue, the other person who wants to speak to us is juror number 378, so we'll bring her in. And then I've got a note here, which is on a juror question note, so I will mark it as number 265. And this may be related to what Juror 378 wants to talk to us about. It says the juror in seat 13 is very sick, very with all capitals. She has a sinus infection plus. We are very concerned about our well-being and her well-being. Signed, multiple jurors. So I don't know who exactly it came from, but apparently more than one person. I did notice yesterday that she appeared to have a heavy cough, and she seemed to have either a cold or some related type of illness, just based on my observation. So we'll start with juror number 378, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's bring her in, please. The record should reflect that juror number 378 is now present in the courtroom. Good morning.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm sicker than a dog.
Okay. So she's saying that she's sicker than a dog. Okay. And you wanted to talk to me. I'm assuming this is what you wanted to talk to me about. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I can do what I'm supposed to be doing today.
Okay. It seems like you have a cold. Is that what it is, or what's ailing you?
I have a sinus infection.
Sinus infection, and it looks like you're feeling pretty miserable.
I'm feeling miserable. I'm sweaty. It's freezing in here. I I've been running a fever. I'm coughing like crazy. I just
Okay. And
don't think I can do what I need to do today.
right, it affects your, is it affecting your, do you have a headache? Is it affecting your concentration, that kind of thing?
My face hurts right here.
Do you think that might be a sinus issue?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me have you step out for just a moment, okay?
All right, thank you.
We would agree with the court asking her that. We also don't want to have to replace her at this point, and as completely inconvenient as that is for us, if she's that sick, she can't sit today, and maybe if she gets some antibiotics or something, she'll be able to go by Monday. So we'd ask the court to ask her if that's possible.
Okay. Let's bring her back, please. The record should reflect that juror number 378 is back in the courtroom. Thank you for your patience with us. I appreciate you letting me know about this. You did exactly the right thing. You need to be able to concentrate on the proceedings and to be paying attention throughout the proceedings. And if you're sick and you're not able to do that, then you absolutely have to let me know, and that's what you did today, and I very much appreciate that. We've all been sick before, so we all know what it feels like, and I think we all can empathize with you and understand how you might be feeling. You know yourself best. We don't know you very well. You know yourself best. If we took today off with the weekend, do you think there's a good probability that you will feel better by Monday, or at least well enough to be able to proceed? Or is this the kind of thing that in the past has taken you quite a few days or more than just a few days to get through?
Well, I'm taking tomorrow off work so I can go to the clinic and hopefully get some antibiotics. I should feel better by Monday.
If we take today off, you could go to the clinic today even
That's
to
true,
get
I could.
to get a day ahead. Yeah.
I'm still going to take tomorrow off work.
Okay, but your employer might know that you said that now.
I was going to go tell him.
Okay. Great. So you feel pretty good about your chances of feeling better by Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And you think by Monday you'll be feeling well enough that you'll be able to participate in the proceedings and will be able to concentrate?
If I can't, you'll be the first one to know.
Great. Okay, I appreciate that. But as you're sitting here, you believe that by Monday, with some meds starting maybe today, you should be able to go.
I should be able to.
Great. Thank you very much. Let me have you step out again, please.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, the record should reflect that juror number 983 has stepped out of the courtroom again. Is there anything else from the people? Given that record, I'm inclined to just take the day off. I know it's something nobody wants to do, but neither side is in favor of me releasing her, and in fact, both sides are opposing me releasing her and using an alternate to replace her. And I think the most appropriate course of action, given what she said to us just now, is to wait and see if she's better by Monday.
I agree, Your Honor, and we'll revisit this issue Monday, and we can take that next step if need be.
Yes, I will plan to bring her in again on Monday and make sure that she is feeling better and that she's ready to go. And then in terms of the other jurors, if we keep her on, we might try to make some arrangements. I know that we have a couple of empty seats in the top row, and we might put the juror sitting next to her in one of those seats. That's juror number 155, I think. And then 983, we could move somewhere else, depending on what he's wearing. Or we might leave him there, so. Ms. Higgs.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I have two requests. First, would the court give us an opportunity to speak with our witnesses that are here today with regard to scheduling issues and what their availabilities are next week? It may be preferable that we give her an extra day just to be sure, instead of bringing our witnesses on Monday and then again having them have to wait. So we would like an opportunity to do that before we finalize this. There are 17 out-of-state witnesses that are present today, and so we would like to be able to do that and potentially check people's availability. Some of these people have been waiting for a while to testify, so I don't know what their availability is, and we may have requests for a couple of them to do video testimony since they are present today. So if the court would allow us a few minutes to do that, we would appreciate it.
Well, but in terms of Juror 378, I've got her waiting outside. Do you have any other record that you want to make, or are there any other requests that you're making of the court at this time?
No, sir. If we come to the conclusion that it would be better for us with the witnesses to just come back on Tuesday to give her an extra day to make sure, I think we can notify her of that at a later point.
Okay.
We don't need to keep her here to do that.
All right, and the defense is asking me to keep her on the jury, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So you're opposing her release at this time, correct?
I don't think it's necessary. I think that it seems that she'll get better and be fine for Monday.
Okay, great. Mr. Orman?
Your Honor, I'll just put this out there. We certainly don't want to inconvenience any of these people more than necessary, and they're here from out of state, and no one anticipated this. So if the defense wants to do the procedure that we did with the other witness with the video deposition, we won't object to doing that for these witnesses who are here today from out of state.
Okay, great. All right, let's tell her to go back to the jury room, please, in terms of Juror 378. All right, let's bring in juror number 983 next, please. The record should reflect that juror number 983 is now present in the courtroom. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing great.
I want to ask you about a T-shirt that you were wearing yesterday. It's my understanding that you were wearing a Metallica T-shirt yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that a heavy metal band?
Yes, it is.
And I just wanted to know whether you were wearing it for a particular reason or whether you were wearing it for no reason at all.
I was wearing it because we were on the other side. I didn't think we were actually going to get in the courtroom yesterday.
When you say the other side, what do you mean?
As far as being an alternate, I was on the other side, so I didn't think we were going to be coming back over here. So.
But in terms of wearing that T-shirt to the courthouse, was it intended to convey a message, or What, were you wearing it without any intention of conveying a message?
No, no intention of any message at all, just, I like the group.
You're a fan of Metallica?
Yes, sir.
Have you worn other Metallica T-shirts before during your jury service?
No, only when we were on the other side, that's when I was wearing those, because we were all relaxed over there, so.
And so the record is clear. When the deliberating jurors have been deliberating, the alternate jurors have been kept in another room away from here, and that's what you're referring to when you say the other side, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the other room actually is not even close to this area or this floor?
That's correct.
Okay. Have you worn this particular T-shirt before that you wore yesterday?
As far as here or
Yes.
outside or?
No, just here, in terms of your jury service in this case.
No, yesterday was just one of those days where I was in a hurry to get out the door. I was running late, so.
So that you didn't think about choosing that particular T-shirt, you just grabbed the T-shirt and wore that T-shirt yesterday?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, let me have you step out for just a moment, please.
Okay.
All right, any other record that the people want me to make or any other questions that the people want me to ask? Juror number 983.
No, Your Honor, I would just say for purposes of the record, my observations of him not only were that he was candid, but in listening to the answers, my interpretation is he believes you are questioning him about the decorum aspect of his T-shirt. Like, why did he wear a heavy metal band T-shirt? I don't even think it registers with him what was on the back of the T-shirt. That wasn't even something that he brought up. I think he felt like he was answering the court in terms of, geez, I would have worn a better T-shirt had I known I was going to be in court.
Right.
So I think that says a lot about what's going on in his mind when he grabs the T-shirt.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think that's the way I understood it as well. Anything from the defense?
That's how we took it as well.
Right. I think it's an example of somebody sitting in the courtroom reporting and wanting to show everyone that he's smarter than everyone and notice something that really had no meaning. This had no meaning at all, but he made a story out of it because he wanted to show he's the smartest kid in the classroom. So, and nobody else noticed it. And he mentioned that in his story too. None of the lawyers and the judge noticed it. All right. Okay. Anything else in at this time with respect to that juror? No? What I propose is bringing the jury in, telling them we're going to let them go for the day, telling them that at this time the plan is to bring them back on Monday, and then telling them that there's a possibility that it might be Tuesday. And if that changes from Monday to Tuesday, my staff will contact them either through phone or by email, if that's okay with everyone. Is there any objection by anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, let's bring the jury in, please. Please be seated, everyone. The record should reflect that the jury is now present in the courtroom. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everyone doing? It's Friday, right? One of you is ill. One of you has come down with a pretty bad cold and sinus infection and is not feeling well enough to be able to participate in the proceedings. And also there's a risk that she may make others sick, and I want to avoid that risk. I don't want all of you sick. And I want her to get better, give her a chance to get better. So what we're going to do is we're going to take today off. The attorneys and I are going to try to get some work done if we can on our own. But I'm going to release you for the day. The plan is to have you come back on Monday, and that the juror will be feeling better by Monday, and then we will proceed on Monday. If for some reason that plan changes and we have you come back on Tuesday instead of Monday, my staff will contact you. But I'm hopeful that the 3 days, including today and the weekend, will be sufficient and that she'll be well enough on Monday to allow us to proceed. Obviously, it's important that all of you are feeling well enough to be able to concentrate and pay attention to the proceedings. We can't proceed unless all of you are well enough to do that. So that's how we're going to go, all right? Before I release you, since I have some time, I'm going to go through the advisements. You knew this was coming. I see all of you smiling, nodding your head. I'm going to go through the advisements because they're very important, and you know that, and I know you know that, and I know you know them by heart, but I'm required by law to remind you about them. And also, as I've said before, I sleep better at night when I give them to you, so let me run through them, please. Number one, please do not discuss any aspect of this case or any other case like it with each other through any means. You're free to talk with each other, but not about this case or any case like it. Number two, in addition to not being able to discuss this case or any other cases like it with each other, you may not communicate about this case or any case like it with anyone else through any means. That includes your spouse or significant other. All you can tell people is that you are a juror in a trial in Arapahoe County that is expected to end no later than the end of August. Number three, you may not have any contact or communication with any jurors who have been dismissed. Number four, please do not talk with any witnesses, parties, or attorneys about anything, whether related to the case or not. Number five, to make sure that witnesses, parties, and attorneys do not talk to you, it is imperative that you wear your juror badge whenever you're on the courthouse premises and that it is visible to everyone around you. Your juror badge will also reduce the risk that people will talk about the case in your presence. If you hear anyone talking about the case, please remove yourself from that location immediately. The other benefit of having you wear a juror badge is that it allows the members of the media to comply with the orders that I have issued with respect to things that they are prohibited from doing. So make sure your juror badge is always visible to everyone around you. Next, number 6 is please do not talk to any members of the media about anything. Number 7, you must not read, view, or listen to any news or media reports that may refer to this case or any case like this case. Because there's media coverage of this trial, please be particularly vigilant while listening to the radio, watching TV, reading the newspaper, and using the internet or any electronic device. The best thing to do is just avoid the news. That's just the simplest, safest way to proceed. I know that's hard, and I know that nowadays everybody keeps up with the news for the most part, but the best thing to do is just try to avoid news channels, try to avoid news reports on the radio, news reports on the TV, try to avoid reading the newspaper, news reports on the internet, that kind of thing. It's just the safest way to proceed. So that's what I would suggest that you do. Next, you cannot visit any locations mentioned in the case or conduct your own investigation outside the courtroom. Next, your verdicts, your sentencing verdicts in this trial must be based only on the evidence presented in the courtroom, the evidence and information presented in the courtroom and the instructions of law that I give you. You cannot start forming opinions about the case until I tell you that you can start deliberating. You must keep an open mind throughout the proceedings. Neither sympathy for nor prejudice against the prosecution or the defendant may affect your decisions unless I give you a different instruction. And finally, please remember that the attorneys have a job to do. They're required to make objections. Do not hold it against them when they make objections. They're doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. And when we have bench conferences, because they've requested a bench conference, again, don't hold it against them that they have asked for a bench conference. They're doing their job. When you wait sometimes, don't hold it against either of them. Hold it against me. It's not their fault. Hold it against me. Don't hold it against them. And don't take it out on them. And please remember that you're not to infer anything from my rulings in terms of me being for one side or the other. I'm neutral in these proceedings, and I'm simply doing my best to apply the law. Does everybody understand all those advisements? Okay, and everybody's saying yes. All right. Is there anything on behalf of the people before I release the jury? Mr. Brockler, anything else on behalf of the people? Anything on behalf of the defense? No. Okay. All right, folks, enjoy the long weekend. I'll see you back here Monday unless my staff tells you that it will be Tuesday. Thank you. The record should reflect that the jury has exited the courtroom. Everyone may be seated. Ms. Hicks, do you want to take a moment, take a break, so you can talk to your witnesses and figure out how you want to proceed?
Yes, please.
All right. In terms of doing videotape depositions, it isn't really going to save us time because we would have to show the depositions to the jury later, the testimony to the jury later, but it may save your witnesses some inconvenience. So if that's how you want to proceed, I don't have a problem doing that. The people don't have any objection, but I'll leave it up to you. If you don't want to proceed that way and you would rather call them live, have them testify live in the courtroom as opposed to through a videotape, then we'll do it that way. We'll do whichever way you want to proceed. These are your witnesses, all right? So I'm going to take a break, let you talk to your witnesses, let you think about how you want to proceed, and then we'll go from there. Before I break, I don't want to forget to tell you that we're missing exhibits D-TR-234 and 236 from yesterday. And I think that either a witness might have given them to you, Ms. Higgs, or perhaps they forgot to give them to you. So just FYI, okay? Don't let me forget to address that. All right. We'll take a break, and I'll see you back here, let's say 20 minutes. The court will be in recess. Thank you.